What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and some more bolt action here. So we finally got it, combined arms. Been waiting for this for some time, so this is a great release here from Warlord. Definitely a long time coming, and I think something that in some ways players in the community probably are already running this type of thing, or kind of incorporating this type of idea. As Warlord over the last several years has expanded into some of these other games within sort of the World War II setting, right? So of course we got Blood Red Skies, bolt action, of course, the sort of the OG of this sort of game ecosystem that they've created here around the World War II setting. So again, Blood Red Skies, bolt action, Cruel Seas, again a little bit older, but still kicking, and then probably most recently, right, Victory at Sea. So we have we have land, certainly, air, and naval, and again just a great combination of games. Certainly fun to play, and again already incorporated into campaigns and things like that. This just kind of sort of codifies it and puts it into an actual system, as opposed to people just kind of doing their own thing and house ruling and sort of kit bashing a campaign framework. This is just a great support piece, and certainly I think going to be well received here. So we're gonna get this open for you guys and show you everything inside. Oh, and of course, as it so boldly says on here too, it can also work as a standalone board game. So you basically get a whole other game on top of that, in addition to the campaign use. So we'll get this open and we'll show you everything inside. Alrighty, guys, we got the lid open. We're actually just going to take a dive through the box and kind of show you all the components for this. And we'll have some additional support videos coming up where we take a more in-depth view. But so we do get some plastic goodies in here. So our various, some of our various tokens here for ground assets and other terrain features. We got infantry represented, tanks, and naval and air assets as well. So we'll bring that close. Certainly, again, see some of that detail that they've captured in this, and we'll come back to this in a little bit more when we get everything else out. So again, good stuff here from Warlord. So we got 2 of these at least. We'll see what we got. Looks like we got more. So basically the same thing in tan. And a gray one. Alright, we got some bubble wrap, got some dice, a black and white D6. Fantastic. How about this? Warlord incorporating bubble wrap and stuff into their packaging so that pieces don't arrive damaged. Fantastic. So, some cards here. Again, we're not going to review in this video. We're just kind of showing the components here. But so we got one set of cards. Kind of put that on the side here. Another smaller set. These are flip and resolve. Okay. So we have, oh, sorry. We'll just bring that back for a second. So initiative, flip and resolve, just to kind of keep clear what we're getting into. All right. Then a smaller piece here. So the combined arms orders board. Okay. So looks like kind of a reference sheet here, although this is thick cardboard, so really shouldn't call it a sheet. The operations board, so we'll flip that over. So looks like we've got, what, 4 phases: orders, air, resolution, and end phase. Again, we'll review this in detail separately, guys. So if you didn't catch everything or don't want to like rewind and all that wonderful stuff or go back, don't worry. So Eastern Front here, what do we got? So obviously based on the plastics that we looked at the beginning, so certainly a hex-based campaign system makes sense. Northwest Europe. I'm sure we'll be able to get most of this combined in some way. Guadalcanal, how about that? And I'm sure with this map, because this obviously isn't going to be enough in this one box, I think certainly to cover the entirety of all theaters. Nothing that says they can't release more of these sort of expansion tiles down the road with some additional parts of the world. All right, so we get a grand total of 1, 2, looks like about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 6 big pieces of cardboard there. And we'll be coming into this as a whole series of videos for you guys, so we'll take a look at the rules. But again, we get a pretty decent sized rule book or rules manual here. Let's just kind of casually flip through this. Actually, we'll do that once we get out of the box. But what are we at page wise? So looks like it's going to be around 40-ish pages, somewhere in that range. And then one more thing in the bottom here. Gotta have some tokens. So very good. All right. So we'll be right back. We're going to get some stuff sorted out, and then we'll take a look at these pieces in a little bit more detail. Alrighty, guys. So as we can see, we've got our 3 plastic sprues sorted out here. Basically 3 copies of everything's the same, so you won't necessarily have like an allied specific set or axis. So again, just different colored plastic makes that nice and easy. Certainly could be painted up. Probably look pretty sweet for doing that as well. But we'll get a little closer for you guys. All right. So we'll be right back. We'll take a look at some of the boards and then do a flip through of the rules manual for you guys. So these are 2 of the smaller size boards here, and these are sort of the rules related ones, whereas the others are maps. So on the operations board here, so obviously we have a spot for destroyed units, initiative, discard, and resolution discard card piles. So if we went ahead and put these on here, right, probably end up with a board that kind of looks like this. Dead units will accumulate there. Discard piles here. Orders phase. So we take our order tokens, give orders, reveal units, air phase, resolve air battles, then air raids. Resolution phase, resolve resolution card from the top of the deck. If the next card is a victory card, flip and resolve. Continue until a situation card is revealed. And then end phase. Retrieve your orders, retrieve the air units, discard excess initiative card down to a max of 3 per player. And interestingly, I think the box says 2-player, although they basically give us 3 sets of, or 3 sprues, so I'm wondering. We'll probably get that defined in the rule book, but just interesting bit there. And then on here, sort of our orders, right? So it looks like we got 3 things for land, sea, and air. Something about seizing the initiative there, and then rolling to destroy. So air going to be harder, 6 up, infantry 5. Armored 4, naval 3, transport 2 up. That's interesting. Yeah, it makes sense, I think. Yeah, looking at it that way. And scouts basically just automatically destroyed. So, but yeah, that's basically these 2 sort of rules-related boards. So we'll next flip over to the rulebook for you guys and take a quick tour of that. Alrighty, guys. So here is going to be a flip through of what we got going on here for combined arms. So again, this is just taking a quick tour through the rules manual. We'll be going in depth in a series of videos coming up shortly. So hey, how to play, campaign rules, glossary, talking about the game components, different theaters, what all the game pieces essentially mean, the card decks, right, the miniatures, the counters that we get, how to set up the game. Makes sense. The point of the game, pretty sure it is to win. How to play. So again, getting into the nitty gritty here. Oops. Different types of orders to give. Different phases, right? Air phase, everything else going on. How to resolve different types of battles. So really the main rules part of it, and again, excluding the first few pages, is going to top out at page 22 of this. So really, I think with the first few pages of just sort of basic background explanation, you're certainly under 20 pages of rules, which is nice. So given that you combine other game systems, right, like bolt action, etc., not having a multi-100-page rule book to go along with that is certainly refreshing. if you think about some of the other games and systems out there. So combined arms, so campaign rules here. So again, that's kind of the main purpose here, right? Is how do you want to build your campaigns? And again, coming back to this, Warlord now with all these different game systems within the World War II setting gives you just so many options. We've been slowly covering some of the different campaign books for bolt action, and just how you can use that to vary and expand your games too, and just look for new hobby challenges and all these other things. But you mix in the other games like Victory at Sea, Blood Red Skies, Cruel Seas. There's just so many neat possibilities there. So then kind of, again, how do you work your different game systems into this? So playing a campaign with bolt action, playing with our naval games, Victory at Sea or Cruel Seas, or Cruel Seas. If we can get this to cooperate here. And again, I think perhaps the most fun, but also most intense, would be just combining everything at once in some way, shape, or form. So get naval, get air in there if you can, and of course bolt action itself. And really within bolt action too, you could again zoom in with, I think, if they still have it out there, the firefight rules where you're just like kind of like a nighttime raid and things like that. Smaller, again, very small sort of skirmishy type things. So you have even more. They probably won't address firefight in here, but again, something that's within bolt action. Playing a campaign with Blood Red Skies, playing with National Advantage cards, and so that is going to top us out at page 33. Looks like the rest might just be more advertising-related things, again, just to kind of cover what else is out there for folks. So not going to criticize on that, but that definitely takes up a few pages. So really, again, seems like we're going to get a pretty solid system in here without, again, being overly long, which is always nice. And then a glossary, always handy. And I think they've also taken an effort here to not overload every page like is the case in some of the rule books, right? Like trying to read the main bolt action rule book or just any of the books really for bolt action itself. Just so much on each page sometimes. So this is refreshing, not an overload of information. Last but not least on here, and again, what are we topping out at page-wise? They stopped talking about that here. I think it's high 30s, low 40s, certainly. But at the back end here, we get a summary page. So pro tip here, basically photocopy a couple of these, get it laminated so you just have it as a reference. And, I think with a few games under your belt, you probably won't need to refer into the rule book very much. So having that handy should be a pretty cool thing. So overall, again, just from the sort of surface level inspection here, this unboxing looks like a pretty neat system. We'll have to, again, do a sort of a deeper dive into the actual rules and how all that's going to work with the campaign. So stay tuned for that, guys. We will be covering everything in depth for you. Next few videos should be coming out here in the next couple of days. And again, we're going to go pretty in depth on this. So overall, again, great product. Definitely been looking forward to something like this for a long time. Kind of already did some of these things in just our own sort of personal games and campaigns and stuff like that, and already kind of incorporated the different games as well in just different ways. Everybody's probably kind of custom built their own campaign at one point or another in their gaming lives or careers for their favorite systems. But this is, again, just a great release, bringing everything in sort of one organized framework, since there is a lot going on, certainly in Warlord's World War II sort of, again, gaming systems. And again, this is just that initial release. Certainly, I think this seems to be doing well release-wise or sales-wise for them. So we can probably expect some expansions to this at some point, and would be neat to then see this maybe like an official campaign supplement get applied to some of the other things that are out there that aren't the World War II setting. But overall, looks pretty cool. Very, very satisfied. So let us know, guys, what you thought of, again, just the components here, the release in general, the idea for it. And if you've already gotten yours, if you've already been kind of starting or running some of these combined arms campaigns, or just running it as the separate solo sort of board game, what your thoughts are on the system. So drop us some comments, guys. Like and subscribe. Check out the link in the description too if you want to support the channel. Actually, not in the description, in the sort of pinned comment. And then also, again, stay tuned. We'll have plenty more for you. Take care.